Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the easy crochet hat. This is in two sizes, 4 to 6 years of age and 8 to 12 years of age. I'm going to be showing you both here on camera because the only difference is that round number 5 is added in if you're going on to the 8 to 12, and if you're not doing that size you just skip this set of instruction and then you keep on moving. So what you're going to really pay attention today is the gauge to make sure it happens. It's a USM, a 9mm crochet hook. If you don't pay attention to that, then what happens is your hat will be either too small or too big. So make sure that your gauge is matching in order to get to the size that you would like to go. We're also going to be using today Bernat Softee Chunky yarn. I have the baby edition that I'm going to be playing with here on camera. I've actually got most of the sample already done here in green, and I'm going to be finishing that with you on camera. But I'm gonna get you started today, and please grab your 9mm size M crochet hook and let's begin to play. So let's work through this set of instructions. We're going to create a slip knot. This is an easy level project, so keep that in mind, and you are going to slide that onto your 9mm size M crochet hook. I want you to chain 2. So 1 and 2. Once you have 2, I want you in the very first one, so second one from the back, it's the very first chain, I want you to place in 8 single crochets into that same one. So let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, and just keep on placing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And once you have your 8, if you're not sure, just count it back. You can just count each one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the 8th one back, which is the very first one, is the one that you'll slip stitch into in order to complete the round. So now let's move up to round number 2. Moving on to round number 2, you're gonna chain up 1, and then each one of these stitches all the way around are each going to get 2 single crochets. So just place 1 in and then a second, and then keep moving around. So there will be 8 groups of 2 single crochets in all the way around by the time you get around. So 2 singles into each one of the stitches around. I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm coming up all the way around. I have 8 groups of 2, and you can verify that too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now the one that reaches over here, people think that's a stitch. It's not. It's part of your first one. So make sure you don't add in the 9th group of 2. So just make sure then you just slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet, and then you're good to go. Let's move on to round number 3. Round number 3, gonna chain up 1, and you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first one, and then in the next stitch you're going to place 2 single crochets in there. So 1 and 2. Okay, so here's the repeat pattern. The next one is have 1 by itself, and then the next one gets 2, and I want you to repeat that same idea going all the way around. So the next one is 1, and then the next one has 2 in it. Please do that all the way around for round number 3. And coming around number 3, the very final one has 2 single crochets in it, and that's because I'm just following the pattern. So it was 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So the last one will have 2 in it, so that you'll know that you're keeping in balance. Please slip stitch to the top of the first one. Let's go on to round number 4. Round number 4, chain up 1, and in the first 2 single crochets you're only gonna put in 1. So just 1 by itself and 1, and then the next one will have 2 in the same one. So 1 and 2. So the repeat pattern for round number 4 is that the first 2 will have 1 each. So 1 and 1, and then the next one will have 2 into the same one. Please do that same pattern going all the way around for round number 4. I'm coming now to the end of round number 4, and I'm just putting 2 single crochets in the last one because that's keeping with the repeat pattern, and I'm going to join to the top. So here's the thing. For those that are doing the 4 to 6 years of age, you are no longer growing this, and you're going to move up to the next round. So you're gonna ignore the next set of instructions. If you are doing the larger size of 8 to 12 years with me, you'll have to do round number 5 as I'm about to show. Again, for those 4 to 6, you're not gonna do this next set of instructions. So let's move on to round number 5, only for the 8 to 12 years of age. For the 8 to 12 years of age, we're actually only adding in 2 extra stitches to compensate for the additional growth of a head size. So you're just going to chain up 1, and you're going to put in 15 single crochets in a row. So let's count these out. So 1, and keep on moving, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Once you get your 15, the next stitch will have 2 single crochets in it. So 1 and 2. Here's the thing, I don't need to show you that again. You're going to put 1 single crochet in each of them except for the very final stitch. You're gonna put 2. So just continue around, so just 1 single crochet in each, and then in the last stitch put 2 single crochets in there, and then you're ready to move up to the next round for both of the sizes once again. Please do that now. I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm coming up all the way around for the 5th round for the 8 to 12 only, and making sure the last one has 2 single crochets in, and then you're going to join. So the next part we're going to return back now all sizes. The 2 sizes are now going to start from this point. So for my 4 to 6 years of age and 8 to 12, you're ready to go at this point. So let's begin our first round. We're going to establish the moss stitching. It's also called granite stitching in order to create this look. So you're going to chain up 1, and in the first one, right where it's coming out of, is that you're going to do 1 single crochet. You're then going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet in the next. And then chain 1 again, skip the next one, single crochet in the next. I want you to do that idea going all the way around. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next. Please do that now. I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm coming up all the way around, and there is my last one here. I want to chain 1, and I'm gonna skip the last one, and I'm going to just join with the slip stitch to the first single crochet that I had. So essentially now you've created the spaces of the chain 1s so that you can create this moss stitching or granite stitching for the remaining of this. So there's going to be 2 different types of rounds how we start, and so we're going to cover now next round. This is the first time, so whenever you get here and you were just reaching over, just like you see here, the next round is going to start this way. So you're going to chain 2, and you were going to skip the first single crochet, which is what you're sitting on top of, and you were going to single crochet in the chain 1 space. Then chain 1 and go to the next chain 1 space, and chain 1 and go to the next chain 1 space, and please do that all the way around then for the next round in this body of the hat. When you come around all the way in that one, you're gonna chain 1, and you were gonna go right into the last chain 1 space before the chain 2 started, and then you were going to then slip stitch around the chain 2. Okay, and that keeps everything in balance. It keeps all your spaces available to you. So the next round we are going to then start up, and we're going to chain up 1, and we're gonna go immediately into this chain 1 space that's right beside it, and then continue around. So chain up 1 and 1 single crochet all in the next chain 1 space, and please do that all the way around. So just chaining 1 and 1 single in each space. So there's only 2 ways to start each round. You just gotta pay attention to which way that you're going to start it. So let's continue then. I'll see you at the end of this round. When you finish this particular round, you're going to chain up 1, and then you are going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So that keeps that chain 1 space looking available to you. So now we're going to review back. So we have to go back to the first way to start again. So we chain up 2, 1 and 2, and then we come to the next chain 1 space and start again. So single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the next space, chain 1, and etc. Please do that all again all the way around. When you get all the way back around, you've just now single crocheted in the last one, and then you just slip stitch around the chain 2, and then that keeps everything back in balance for you again. So once you do that, you're gonna start up the next round. So chain up 1, and then go immediately to the next chain 1 space right beside it, and single crochet, and then chain 1, and so on. So what I want you to do is that we need to grow this a certain amount of distance. So we need to keep growing this out so that it hits a certain amount. So it's gonna be either 7.5 inches if it's this 4 to 6 years of age, or it's gonna be 8 inches. So you just have to measure out with a tape measure and get to where you need to go in order to have the right size hat. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna leave that for you because it's just repeating those 2 rounds over and over and over until it's done. And what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna take you to my other sample that I have already completed, and I am going to then take you through the remaining of these in order to do the brim, and there's 2 rounds to do that from that point. Once you get to the height that you need, you're going to start up and you're gonna fasten off, and you're going to start up some new color yarn. And what we're going to do for the first round is that we are going to just fill in all the spaces. So if it was a chain 1 space, we're gonna single crochet, and if it's a single crochet, we're gonna single crochet. So we're gonna fill in everything. Keep the straggler down on top of the line so that you can get rid of that by hiding it under, and just join it with a standing single crochet. So to join this, instead of just joining it in a chaining 1, you can do a standing. So just insert in, scoop it, and then pull through 2 loops, and that's a standing single crochet, and it looks awesome. So that's just improvisation from the pattern. So then the next stitch, you're just gonna single crochet, just burying over top of the 2 strands, and then go to the next chain 1 space and fill it in, and then the next stitch, fill it in, and etc. So please single crochet in each of the stitches and chain 1 spaces all the way around. So I'm coming to the end of the first round of doing the brim, just filling in each one of the stitches with a single crochet. And then when you get back to the very beginning, so this is the last single crochet, you are going to then join it to the first single crochet that you had. So now we're going to do what is called as a reverse single crochet, and this is also called the crab stitch. How to do it: you're gonna chain up 1 and you're going to single crochet in the very first one. Okay, you know how to do that. Now you're going to go into the one behind. So we always advance forward, but we're going to go in the one behind and just reach in and go in, and then just grab the yarn, scoop it underneath, and then pull through 2. And that's gonna change the look of the stitch. So go to the next one and behind, scoop the yarn, pull it under, and then pull through 2. So the one in behind, scoop it and pull through, and do you see the look it's now appearing? It's like really awesome. So just reaching in behind and scoop through. This is called the reverse single crochet or a crab stitch, and I want you to do that all the way for the remaining of this particular brim, and this is your very final row. So I'm just coming all the way back around, and I'm just still continuing to reverse single crochet, and the next one is that. So what I want to do is that I want to finish this right here. So I'm not actually joining it with the slip stitch. Watch what I do. I'm going to just trim, and I'm going to pull that through. Okay, so you can see it kinda doesn't look finished, and that's fine because we want to finish it with the tapestry needle to get it to look the very best that it possibly can. So using a tapestry needle, I want you to drag that underneath the next set of stitches that are going in the same direction. So continue it along, and that will pull that stitch over and make it look like it belongs. You're going to then insert your needle back in the other direction from which you came, and then finally go back in the other direction one more time through a slightly different path to catch some different fibers to get that to be completely in. Once you have that completely in, just trim it and you're good to go. Now there is a pom-pom as shown on this particular pattern, and I'm going to leave that with you if you'd like to do that. You can use a pom-pom maker, and these are really super cute because of the moss stitch. You can see that it does have some flexibility to it as well, and this is really quite awesome. So until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. This here is the Easy Crochet Hat. Please enjoy. We hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.